Well, again, my name's Gabe Zollner. You know, there's a whole lot of focus on the Weiner right now. And what you have to ask yourself is, who's more dangerous, the Weiner or the Weiner's wife? You'll understand more as to why I asked that question after I go through a little bit of history. Now, as you may or may not know, Chuck Grassley, a senator, he started an investigation on Huma Abedin for a number of reasons. He didn't understand how she could afford to live with Weiner in a $750,000 condo based on her government salary that she supposedly had. He also didn't understand how she's always seen in a very new, expensive business suit, very seldom, if ever, in the same suit twice. And she's been exposed an awful lot, so she's got to have a very large closet. Well, you know, Huma, when it came time to deliver her new baby, prior to that, she worked as Hillary Clinton's aide and confidant. They traveled the world together. But interestingly enough, when Huma went ahead and gave birth, she was redesignated as a special government employee. Now, as a special government employee, which really was a stay-at-home mom, she had a salary of $135,000, which I guess she still does have. And when you add benefits to it, that brought it to around $155,000 a year. Now, she also worked for a company called Teneo, that's T-E-N-E-O. And she worked for them, and she still does, I understand, as a consultant. And what Teneo does is they trade in stocks and bonds. She also works with Bill Clinton, and Bill's on the board member of Teneo, but she works for Bill and one of the organizations that he has, which is his Jefferson William Foundation. The compensation that Teneo pays her, according to the information I was able to ascertain, is around $355,000. That's on top of the $155,000 of benefits that she gets, so that's what? That's $500,000. But it doesn't stop there, because she also, again, she is employed by the Jefferson Clinton Foundation. And I don't know how much she receives for that, but I'm sure she does well. This is what happens when you have friends in very high places. Now, Chuck Grassley, as I mentioned earlier, is heading up a Senate investigation on Huma, and he was quoted as saying, "I am concerned that, quote, the special government employee, end of quote, designation blurs the lines between a private sector or public sector and government employees." And you know what, though? It should, Senator Grassley, since as a government high-ranking employee, she, like Hillary Clinton, can participate in insider trading information. And working as a consultant for Teneo, which trades in stocks and bonds, well, guess what? That might well explain her $355,000 annual paycheck. Anyway, another even more compelling concern is both Abedin and her family direct involvement with the Muslim Brotherhood. Her father was a staunch member until prior to his passing. I understand that her mother is with the women's sides of the Brotherhood. I believe she has a brother who's also with the Brotherhood. And she herself, when she went to university, she was part of a women's division of the Muslim Brotherhood. So when you take all these things into consideration, you can see why maybe there's a reason to be more concerned about Huma than about Carlos Danger, you know? The other thing that people should be aware of is that, as I said earlier, having access to insider trading information is illegal for the average citizen, but it's not illegal for members of Congress, which I think is totally insane. But what it does explain is it explains how she's able to afford a $750,000 condo with the Weiner, and how she can afford to buy very expensive, chic-looking business suits and never be seen in the same suit twice. So, once again, is she more dangerous than Weiner? Well, Weiner is dangerous for New York. Huma is dangerous for America. The other thing you need to know is Huma's a Muslim. And whether you want to admit it or not, most Muslims that are truly Muslims dislike Jews. Actually, they hate Jews. Yet she married a Jew. Isn't that rather interesting? I think it is. Well, now that you know a little bit more about Huma, who do you think is more dangerous? The Weiner or the Weiner's wife?